My throat hurts a little bit. Just a little bit though. Just a little bit though. I've had like some hot tea about it. And some ginger and some honey. All of the things that you're supposed to have. I'm thinking of making a new invention. A hot stone for your throat. I know it doesn't really sound like a new invention. Sounds like a hot stone. There. the accusations come back. Hello to you, YouTubers, I think. Asking if I'm Asian, if I'm high, on behalf of the bizarre amount of people that came into the last stream. I mean, good to see you. Good to see you again. Oh my god. I better not be either of those things. Wait a second. I better not be one of those things. There's a what is this streamer's ASMR? Depending on what effect a sore throat has on whatever the hell is happening here. Oh hell yeah, catboy smiley face. Then there could be some kind of quality in there. And you're having your fill of hay straw and dried grass. That's something that's new with me. I'm gonna ask what's new with you since I've been gone 1 million years. Where the hell is my stylus? I've been gone 1 million years, but what's new with me is I find the same satisfaction in pulling a bunch of weeds that I get from like mobile games or something, Candy Crushing it or whatever, fish doming it, and so I don't like being like asked to do something, but if I just decide to, for pulling all of the weeds I have pulled, that's what's new with me. The day before yesterday I pulled like 15 pounds of weeds from my mama's garden. Just saying ASMRs for channel members. Perfect actually. Okay, I have a bold sort of title for this sort of a stream, but I don't know if that's gonna go anywhere. Catboy design competition. Guys saying I am a member. I spent $100,000. Oh god. You're saying you never left. I did distinctly come into the meme hall of YouTube users outing right here, right now, and you've had the tab open or some such. So she's saying you were away for so long. I got sick 2 times and also got well 2 times. Hey, as long as you're well again, you can't be giving me double sickness through the screen. I'm thinking of trying to draw an original character that I haven't drawn very much before, but thought about a lot, and I do this to side characters sometimes. Things are going bad with the throat. Things are going a little bit bad with the throat. Okay, like one thing that I thought of, and one thing, it feels funny at any time to think of wearing a mask online, as if I can do the opposite of a face reveal. But I'm like doing this right now wondering, does this like humidify me instantly if there's throat issue? You're saying that you actually died. I'm my grandson now. Generations have passed. Hey, you just keep on generating generations? Isn't that perfect? Isn't that ideal? Okay, yeah, this is bizarre, but I feel a little better. And I don't know if that's a placebo or something, or if I just appreciate having a mask on because then I have like a tissue stuffed up in there and all of my horrible snots fall directly into it, you know? This is a sort of reveal of the methodology of the ways that I work. Okay, this is going to... I'm also overcome with the urge to fix myself. This is what's happening here. The next season of Dan to Dan is not coming fast enough. What goes on in this corner? A wide stance so no one may knock you over. I may try. I might go for the for the knees. Something like that. This is... Okay, let's make this thing a little bit thicker so we can see its serpentine qualities. We're going for the knees. There's... Should be saying you're using a mask. A little late, don't you think? You already got me sick. And you said it muffles your voice a bit. And one must consider... Okay, I can hear the mufflingness. There's... Guy saying ASMR stream, I'll pay $6 billion. Also, I don't remember the last time I drew something. Hey, gotta flex the arts. Amazing Digital Circus this Friday. It is really funny to see how the... Okay, let's figure out a couple of different ways this could work. I'm plugged into the Amazing Digital Circus subreddit on my secret Reddit accounts, and it's funny to see how the thirst is evolving. What I'm getting so far is that there's an opposite Jax, and it has a timid personality, and the commenters want him pregnant, which seems to suggest to me that instead of only drawing catboys to this stream, I should also draw a little bunny. And then there's... Of course, what you've just said, though, you've only just said that the Amazing Digital Circus is this Friday, and then I went straight to Mpreg. There's they don't have to be connected. Okay, that was... I'm experiencing enough of a difference here that I'm straight up just gonna try to trust that I'm mostly audible here. Ha! Audible. This production is brought to you by Audible. Okay, so I guess that's just what's happening with me. I do feel better underneath the cloth. Makes the air warmer when I breathe it. Okay, so here we go. I eat the snake that eats the you, and that's kind of cannibalism. For some reason, I keep getting YouTube channel Subway Takes suggested to me, and the latest one, they had like a YouTube legend, Dax Flame or something on there. He is pro-cannibalism, I guess. Every day you learn some more about people. Alright, so here's more of a... Okay, I want to make stripes because something... Stripes or wiggles. That is both fine. I want to make something because... The only radical change will fix up the sense of lostness that I have. It's like I want to get impreg. I need a uterus transplant, but they aren't cheap. Now that's one hell of a way to phrase anything. My God. Oh no. Okay, I'm just thinking through the lore. I'm just thinking through the YouTube user setting lore, wherein you can join to discern pimples, and so technically you could just be like, this entity is male and also experiencing pregante. You could say that, but then like the specific wording there, it seems like you want a very, very precise Mpreg experience. Well, there's Nico Choo saying hello everyone, which is why I should keep the Mpreg talk to be a little bit smaller than it is sometimes. Hello to you, Nico Choo. What's new with you? What's going on? Apparently there's been sickness and wellness. I'm a little bit muffled talking into a mask so that I can keep my throat very warm instead of inhaling a cold air to hurt my little skin and whatever. I'm inhaling a warm air that I've already breathed. So, reduce, reuse, recycle, huh? And I wanted to check out the settings to make sure this thing has got a loop. And figure out what else shall go here. And I want to set up and play Deltarune, like, at some point. I do wonder a couple of things, like if my save is still good. I straight up have not cracked it open. It's strange to think about. Oh God, why? things happening with okay. I sound so healthy right now. And there's guy saying, I've recently watched old streams and realized it was very ASMR without realizing it. Huh. I remember the accusations. I say affectionately / affectionate the accusations. But if my style of speaking has changed to become less ASMR, then I wonder, like, at what point, like, if it was a gradual shift or if it just happened. Oh my god. Huh. A lot of things happened on traveling on trip. Mostly tried to go on roller coaster with my family. This, like they're saying, I love how in chapter 4, Chris talks for the first time and says, this is some sort of Delta Rune, and the game crashes. So I am already getting spoiled on some stuff here and there, and I have heard about how the chapter 4 is supposed to be the more spooky, the spookiest perhaps. Oh my god, how muffled am I? It's supposed to be kind of spooky, but then in chapter 3 you get to have fun and there is a game show, and then for some reason there is a marriage, and then it is scary and bad. So I can't wait to see people's favorite characters, basically. Okay, what the hell else do I want to put in here? I want to put some dark colors, I think. Put some dark colors. Like they're saying, do not cross spoil. I don't want to get spoiled. I refuse to spill it. I can stick with this one. Well then, I hope what I have said has not been too severe. I hope it has not been too severe. Some of them are funny to me, and create a sense of greater intrigue. Is all my shit freezing? For 1 million years. Good God. God damn. Okay, a little bit like that. I'm sorry I have ruined the game for you. Can you consider brain damage? I look in my eye, you can't see my full facial expression, but I have some more gesticulation so you can see how sincere I am. Could you just knock yourself over the head for a second? Just trust me on this one last request to induce amnesia before you are gone, before the unsubscription is complete. You're gonna want some serious amnesia, and it's gonna be all fine. You know? Okay. So what's on my mind? You're saying, okay, make it quick, I won't do it myself. Interesting. So speaking of ASMR, have you ever seen those ones where somebody for some reason it's like a niche where they just kind of beat you to death just a little bit. Not gonna say like dead right now. Trust me, I'm a medical professional. Please look at me, so professional right now. How do you feel? Do you feel like your brains are in the right place? Are you taking on some sort of... It's a funny persona to take on in the mask. Hi, River. Did you come into the chat right as I'm deciding to take on my beating people to death arc? It's a... You know, just girly things. Did you ever get around to watching Steven Universe? It's in my thoughts, you know? Lars of the Stars spin-off announced. Hopefully, maybe, that show is going to satisfy my urge to see somebody exploring the stars. You're saying, why are you wearing the mask? I've got a sore throat, and this is making me inhale warmer air. I took this off and like tried to like talk as much as I normally talk for a second on these streams, and then it was instantly like cold and then like getting drier, and I was like, whoa. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, are my applications of brain damage not working? Alright, okay, tilt your head up a little bit, nose open wide. Yeah. How's it feeling now? I think I got the memories out. If we wanna, okay, you did again. How you doing? There's the guy who's saying Steven Universe spinoff. Died. I died. Gumball coming back, Fiona and Cake soon. Everyone coming back. All of the cool things getting a season. You have not heard of Steven Universe spinoff. I forget. Have you seen the entire show? I know you have referenced it every now and then, and it makes me want to read the fan fiction about Steven Universe and Mark Grayson Invincible interacting. That's what I want. However, I never can't remember if you have watched entire Steven Universe and Steven Universe Future. There's River saying, anyways, I'm gonna go watch YouTube videos in the massage chair. Be right back. Oh, that's awesome. There's River with the what you gonna do there. And also, speaking of comebacks and things that are coming back, I am kind of curious to check out the new episodes Phineas and Ferb. I mean, it is making me realize that I am not up to date on all of the lore of Phineas and Ferb. I didn't know that Stacy and Perry like knew each other. This matters to me. This matters to me. Random things are throwing me back to my ancient childhood. It's like a whiplash, all of a sudden, all at once, and and they are surprising me, catching me off guard, and I just want to know how they go. Okay. Okay. YouTube is just saying that you watched the entire Stefan University series. Oh, that's ironic considering how little education he got. Including the movie, future shorts pilot, the art book, the soundtrack, and other media. The art book makes me want to download the art book. My girlfriend is always referencing the art book, and I'm like, get me in there. You're living under a rock, so you have no idea of a spinoff. It's Lars of the Stars. It's Lars of the Stars. And and it's really fun to see the subreddit freaking out about how... Okay, as I look at the canvas, I'm interrupted by a different thought in my head about how Lars and Jax are like somewhat similar characters, sort of a janky ass. Wait, what? I meant lanky. Why did I say janky? Anyway, it's fun to see the subreddit freaking out about how we're not gonna be like locked into stories only from Steven's perspective. I'm seeing the speculation. Are they gonna let Pearl say fuck? Not really my first thought, but I mean, I guess in the other popular Amazon Prime animations, they let Pearl say fuck. Not Pearl specifically, but but there they go. And so you're saying you're making it? My goodness, yeah. Yeah, it's not fan fake outs. It's Rebecca Sugar being like, okay, I tried some years without this Steven Universe business, and I miss it. Had a palate cleanser. Here I come. I've got more to say. And with the partner, Ian Jones-Quartey, as well. You know, dynamic cartoon-making duo. Coming back to it. So I'm hoping for gem lore. Not to die on you really quick. I'm hoping for gem lore. Oh my god. Okay. I guess I blew my nose or something. What's happening? here's... I'm always curious about ways to lay this out. I could drag my head anywhere. There's... I was like saying, I just want to see stars. Stephen Lars fusion. Indeed. And okay, theoretically, Stephen could have fused with Lars. I mean, mechanically, could have done that at any time, because he's half human and he can fuse with the humans. However, it's gonna be different, right? Because of the ways in which Steven's powers now influence Lars. Will they have really big portal hair? What does it mean to be influenced by a diamond as a human? They would both be influenced by a diamond as a human. And I imagine that they are going to have even bigger hair for maybe more portals. If they fuse, can they go into the multiverse? Even if they can't, this should now be a fan fiction, and I have thought of that just now. There's some get well soon's happening. That having a mask on is definitely helping my throat not to dry out as fast. But oh my gosh, the snot is weird. The snot is weird. Oh my god. Okay. Imagine I just stayed down here for the rest of the stream. But I'm kind of a wonder of an example of what can be possible if you went to work from home. I'm like a advertisement for that. I'm like a... Did my tissue box just run out? Oh my god. So, there's talk of healing frequencies. We are a full 19 minutes into a stream. I'm filled with a desperate urge to sketch something, to get a sketch out. By the way, the person who won the last meme raffle Monday, I believe, unless I'm missing something, didn't get back to me, and so I'm just kind of in suspense. About that. I should. This is what follow-ups were. Good God, what is happening? This is what follow-ups were made for, I assume. Let's drag all of this stuff back around. 22 minutes into a stream. There's somebody saying I won, don't you remember? I mean, hey, I'm almost thinking of reshuffling, redrawing from the last one, even if I shall only make it, I don't know, once a month? Once a month from now on. I don't know, might as well redraw. Okay, so what exactly do I think would be a very cool thing to add? Definitely a Jax, definitely a Lars. What settings did I just select to make all of my shit not work forever? Please. Not to be Sabrina Carpenter core on here, but please, times 3. Alright, there, saying I want you to draw a sexy stickman catboy. If you go too far on the anime twink scale, then that describes all of them. Alright, let's scoot the chair. Scooting the chair inwards. So, I guess for drawing stick figure core character, Impreg, of course. You know, funny enough, I actually have that tag blocked on Tumblr, not because I'm against it in every instance. I've read a story where I felt like it was not executed badly or something, but also I had to block it because it kept coming up for characters whose I was following for art that I didn't really I don't like it for its own sake, I guess. For its own sake. Alright, so here is what can happen when there's a little stick figure sort of thing going on. Actually, let's outline all the bits of body, bits and bobs. Alright, you may say things in a joking manner, but unless otherwise specified, straight up we're doing this. Straight up we're doing this. Alright, here is one figure that I'm drawing. I guess let's lay all of them out. And then I can never actually tell how many people are on the stream. However, seems like quiet times right about now, although some people I know do watch these things in post. Just a couple of people. You're saying this is not a joke, it's a genuine petition. I'll save it in my hard drive. Okay, the stick man brings to mind. Do I keep scruffing this? Oh my god, what is that sound? Do I keep scruffing the microphone with the mask? See, it would seem so. Okay, so like a stick figure, stick man. It brings to mind very specifically a low detail sort of business. How do you also include the details? You are so sexy. This I ask myself in perfect English every day. Okay, goes like this, goes like this. This is what catboy ears are made of. I'm coughing to death a little bit. It may sound exactly like screaming. On the traveling, my family went to the new Universal Park. They have a roller coaster that there's like 2 tracks, and they like send both of the cars like directly toward each other, but it's like on parallel tracks, so it's just to increase your amount of thrills. There's Nico Juju saying, check server for double kitty meme. Of course, I always wish to see when there is a cat and when there is a meme. Wishing to see these all the time. What goes on here? The flashing nature of the subtle foreshadowing meme. Oh, you know, honestly, the subtle foreshadowing happened at such a rapid pace that I had no idea what position the cat could possibly take to be toppling itself over like that. It's like time to remember that Shadow is catless. Every day I cry in the feline sort of way. Oh. Look, homie is dancing and spinning. This is the most beautiful thing that can ever exist. I will see that again because it is so beautiful. Look at this. Skateboarding, enjoying music, completely free and full of wonder. I should have this on my phone forever, probably. Forever. It is a little bit weird feeling the state of my throat changing as I'm talking from like a sick perspective. Wow, that is different. There's what a contemplative time for some adventurous music to come up. There's Nico Jushu saying, get it as a background. I don't know how, but just do it. I feel like that should be possible for my phone. I think that's probably worthwhile. My current phone background is wow, how do I want to do eyes? Every day I ask myself this. My current phone background is like a rainy neighborhood street. Okay, you gotta have long bangs. That's what's going on here. A rainy neighborhood street. However, I was downloading the images off of the Pinterest, and after having the background like up for, I don't know, a couple of months or something, I noticed some blurry details, and now I'm not sure if it's an AI art or not. So I guess I do wish to look for animated backgrounds, especially a sort of way to insert the adorable cats onto the background of the phone. Get some actual quality in there. Okay, here's some eyes from One Way to Draw Eyes. Here is some of this. And this is just an ordinary cat face at this point. And you would want to have different degrees of gatito. And what does it mean to be a stick man? A stick man having fully detailed eyes. This is debatable. Les saying your throat is self-destroying and you're wearing a necklace t-shirt. I have a turtleneck that I could wear instead. Not quite sure. Alright, here is here's a first type of a catboy. What happens? What goes on? I'm the designer of all time. There's talks to the tuba, and okay. There's different ways to be doing this. I'm thinking like less of a thick sort of thing. Okay. So catboy is sometimes it just has the ears, and then you might also be having emo anime hair. I kept cutting my own hair also. I don't know how the overall structure of it is, but I just keep like chopping pieces off. Okay, so here is some details of the, okay, now just construct it like I normally would. How about that? And after traveling around a bunch, it's also strange, it's also peculiar to oh my god, cat pregnancy happening. It's also very strange to come back to my room and it is messy, and it is a mess of unfinished projects, I want to say, of things kind of started, things kind of not finished, as one would think is inherent to that phrase. I started an accounting math class over this summer session as well, and I have to quit it. I couldn't focus as we were traveling, so there's no refunds, but I still have to quit it. And I'm keeping the philosophy class though, because that has not gone badly so far. I mean, it could still be going better, but it hasn't gone bad. And I made my dad start watching the first part of Death Note. Made my dad start watching Death Note. This is all the stuff that's new with me. Made my dad start watching Death Note, and then when he searched it on Netflix, he found the live action version. Hello to Nerdburp. How are you today? Some strange things started happening in the art zone, as always, it's been a while since I've had some regular streams. Let's have some eyeballs up in here as we attempt to engineer a catboy. Saying my room looks like a storage room. That is fair. That is fair. I used to... there was like a couple of months where my shit was so styling, you know. I was stylish up in here and very happy to be in this space. Now a bunch of garbage is on my floor and I am always tripping on it, and this is something that I kind of complain about, but also it's within my power to fix theoretically. And so to be out of the situations I put myself into. Alright, so here is more of this. And is it like stick figure maternity photos? Is that what's happening? Hello to you, Nerdburp. Hello to you. How can I in fact drag the camera, or will this lag incredibly? Oh, well, I mean, it appeared to have frozen for a moment for me. Can I drag this so that I'm like poking the Nerdburp? Poke. Hello. There's like asking, how are you doing today? And I've been talking non-stop for long enough that I don't know if that's a rhetorical question. A little bit of crisis, though. A little bit of crisis. Glad to say hi on a little stream like this, however. As I attempt to draw Catboy happening, specifically in a stick figure sort of style, specifically as requested, Pregonate. This feels so ideal, though. So ideal to what you envisioned. There. Sexy saying, I just arrived. Hi, Shadow. How's your cat doing? You don't have one. Did the brain damage finally start working, though? Hello again. Here is options for okay, this is impossible to tell what any of this should look like. Here is my best estimation. I assume. Of course, you're gonna want still the cheekbones for maximum handsomeness. Something else is also going on with your mouth. No idea what that is. Alright, and then like some cat tail, and they are absolutely buddies. I am considering this stick figure complete, and they are on some kind of paternity? Some kind of ternity. And then there's... Okay. This is quite a lot before I start to draw a Jack's Amazing Digital Circus sort of character, sort of thing. Ew, one ear like this. Okay, I'm thinking of some art in particular. I want to know how it goes, how it is, because I've seen some really nice fan art lately, and wow, okay. I lose my train of thought in the middle of my train of thought because apparently I do not actually know what subreddit I've been on, seeing all of the fan arts and speculation for the next episode of Amazing Digital Circus. Well, that's strange. And I can't just find it by going onto the Reddit in general, because they're going to show me 3 ducklings swimming in a hollowed out watermelon, which is great, but not what I was looking for. Huh. Well, hello. My throat is a little bit incorrect, a little bit wrong. I'm being accused of using Reddit, which is a funny word for me to say, accused, as I scroll through it, because of course I've never used Reddit in my life. Of course. Who would be on Reddit right exactly now? I could never be on Reddit right exactly now. That doesn't even make any sense. Dude. Okay, I lost my train of thought pretty much instantly. Hello to you, Leviathan. No, I'm sick and coughing to death, but I heard that there was much to enjoy in the new chapters of Deltarune. I saw that you had posted an art. Did you make all of the? Was that your fully original art? Which is a strange question to ask, I assume, because you have a history in making the pixel art. This is cool though. Hello. That's awesome. I'm okay. My throat is killing me. My throat is dying. I had a train of thought that was a little bit disrupted because I scroll and I see the fan arts of the Peridot in the Steven universe, and I'm like, huh, cool. What was I thinking about? I don't know. So there's something on the explanation of the no spoilers. I am sorry. Hopefully it wasn't too severe. There's Leviathan saying, I admit the TV Time logo I used a reference for had to be perfect. Hey, and it's looking shiny and it's looking polished. Dare I say, looking perfect? Some cool stuff. And what did I open Reddit about? I swear I can't just be lost in a sea of rekindling hyperfixations. Okay, so that's why I didn't know about it. It's just calling itself the Digital Circus. And then there's somebody saying, my god, that Peridot, Peridot. You started spelling Peridot almost like it's a fruit, like apricot or something. Apricots are on my mind. They are on my mind lately. Alright, so what goes into making a cool and fun fan art? I'm looking through some favorite fan arts that I have seen and realizing that I now want a more of a photo reference for poses that I draw. When Violet is saying, I've already gotten a new idea for a piece about the same fellow, but alas, my fingers cannot handle poses and proportions. PP for short. A total lack of PP handling now, are we? Hey, that's completely understandable. But I mean, okay, the thing in my head is always, my advice is always to, like, try to trace, are you putting Catboy in the other canvas? Jeez Louise. How is it? Why is it detailed? What was I thinking about before I saw that? There's something saying, Army Cook's chat AI is too powerful. I mean, looking at that just now cooked my brain. Yeah, if that's what you were asking. There's the conventions of PvP being hard to handle every time. I'm looking for a pose ref, because the best sort of way to learn to draw poses and proportions, and I say this out loud so I can make myself believe, is to look at the pose that you want to draw, trace it, try to draw a copy of that, try that a couple of times, copy it until you know what it's made of, try to make it more like the original photo, observing what you did. It's a long process, but maybe I like that part of art because it feels like something I can control. Even as the AI does what is this, lighting, rendering, pregnancy, all of these in such detail. I it's like knitting. It's like knitting or crochet. You know, you're doing something is getting done, and and it is a creative. That is what I was gonna say. The post I have in mind is apparently specific to the point where I can't find a reference for it. Gotta take pictures of yourself, or possibly of me. Am I am I doing? There we go. The DIY sort of attitude. The can I can I do any sort of extremely showmanship pose for a moment here? Is there? You need arms like this. You need hands like this. Dynamism. The wonders of a phone camera, very cool. The only problem that I have had with in making my own reference poses ever, and honestly this does, I'll probably just make one for the pose I'm trying to draw right now, honestly. The only problem I've had is that I have not deleted many of them from my camera roll, so I have started to get some on this day memory suggestion things. I have a whole bucket of candies by me today, by the way. I love these things. Very dark chocolate inside of these things. Very amazing. The hell was I saying before I relocated the candies that I love so much? Yummy. I don't know. I'm making my own poses, and they go like... Okay. I think I'm probably scooted all the way out here, probably. A little bit like this. Yeah, that's probably it. Basically it. And then there's Leviathan talking about having 2 kinds of chips for tomorrow. And Sadie saying, are you offering free poses? I did a pose for reference, both legs behind head, standing on one hand and the other hand, doing a peace sign. Should be easy to do. Look, I think I could get almost there. Think I could almost do it. Honestly, my legs are cramping a little bit, so this sounds like the last thing that I would say before becoming horribly injured. There's 2 kinds of chips and life is good. Leviathan, my goodness. Oh, and I see the sort of character that was causing me to pronounce things Leviathan here and there. See, that's gone now. Times of changes. Okay, standing on one hand, doing a peace sign. Can I even stand on one hand like this? Wow, okay, I can barely stand on 2 hands right about now. I wish to scoot outward to sort of prove that I have stood on 2 hands, saying let's not pretzelize Jaru. Thank you, that's so considerate. And you're going back to basics. I'm most interested. Oh, hello to you, Aishalove. They're trying to turn me into a pretzel. They're saying do reference poses where your foot is behind your head, whatever the hell. So that's good to know. Good to know for me. I'm most interested in that. Okay, I still have enough strength in my arm and such to lift myself up off of a chair or something and balance on it a little bit. But hello to you. What's new with you? I'm a little bit sick. I'm about to blow my nose crazy chunky style. I should probably locate more tissues or something because I am running out. Saying, why masking it up if disease cannot be spread through the internet? Okay, it's really funny to me to to think of answering that with "that's what you might think" in some kind of conspiratorial tone. However, no, my throat is just dry, and this was humidifying me as I speak in a lot of words. You know, let's actually mute this before I go crazy chunky blowing my nose mode. Muting. Hello, my, what have we here? It's still me. Okay, so, the respiratory tract, warmed, moisted, computer virus is not contracted. There's, I shall have saying that's tough. I recently had a cold and it affected my sleep schedule a big time. But plus side is I can catch dreams again. Oh, every now and then I remember that sometimes seeing somebody who I am most glad to see does in fact mean something has gone wrong with the sleep schedule, but it's a mildly conflicting feeling. Well, I hope that things it means less of a chat. I hope that things improve for you. Something asking, so we all got sick lately. There's something going around. Normally, I'm so good at avoiding illness because I avoid people who are a bunch of plague rats, as you know. But, yeah, traveling, it'll put you in places where another person is. There's some virusing. Good for a spountain impression, bad for literally everything else. Oh my, oh dear. Okay, I look at fan art and how fan art can be formed. Okay. I took a reference image of myself, thinking that it would make anything clearer. Not exactly. There's actually saying it's strange because I live in another continent in North America. I mean, okay, so what I know so far is that most of us having chatted here that I know of are in different countries. Was it the other month, my Australian buddy was having a sickness as well. You are having a sickness. Many things happening. Kai, these days when you say LGTB, it makes me think of the Korean company, LG, and just the fact that I was so surprised to find out that they were one of the main Korean companies, one of those big time, big shot, if you watch the drama, here's where the rich person is from kind of thing. There's talk. Okay, and then we cough to death. Okay, this is very crunchy, and it feels like my throat could maybe do that. What has just been done here? There's things that are dealt to ruining your day. Perhaps I shall not crunch for this moment. Perhaps I shall go here for this moment indeed. The YouTube recommendations are so specific lately. Funky Undertale jams to fill your big dumb empty head. My god. So you're Delta running away from spoilers. Honestly, I am thinking, okay, it'll take some setting up, naturally. Thinking of trying to make the Thursday stream Deltarune instead of scribbling around. Because although I bring a lot of, experience a lot of joy scribbling around, I am thinking kind of why not? Why not go there? I'm so excited to keep let us know when you can finish the game so we can nerd out. Oh my. Well, not to put a timeline on things, but if you can do so before Thursday, then maybe that works out really well. You're saying the Samson and then the Deltarune happened. I keep hearing that this was the game Toby Fox wanted to make instead of Undertale. Undertale was the test run, which, as you know, being an Undertale fan first, that's absolutely bonkers to hear about. Okay, what are arms made of? Like this? And like this? But then is Jax, if I'm drawing Amazing Digital Circus, is a ship like this? Everything I do, it doesn't help. Everything I do to try to draw. Okay, Jax Digital Circus. Huh. Okay. So in the 2D versions, there's kind of a shoulders going outward, but in the 3D versions, you're more of a stick figure. Huh. Let's see if I just try to draw that quicker, does it go anywhere? A bit like this. Try to have some flow with it, because that's something I like about the fan art. And it's so funny to me to think that a Steven Universe show is going to be airing at the same time as Digital Circus. I was thinking of them as two different eras of animation, which I guess they still are, but I don't know, that that changes things up a little bit. There's I shall have seen. I feel like that's kind of fandom because people are annoyed by the constant Deltarune Undertale comparisons. Ooh, yeah. I've been like seeing just enough of Deltarune fandom to see a little bit of spoilers and people's expectations and reactions and things. Just that much. It doesn't feel like very much to me, but not enough to feel like very entrenched in it, you know? There's 60 saying, I heard there's a Delta rune, an Alpha rune, a Beta rune, a Theta rune, a Sigma rune, an Omega rune. And then I should have said, what song is this? I think it may have just switched song. Oh, okay, no. For over a minute and 20 seconds, this has been the Courtyards of Gilgamesh from Serious Sam, a recommendation of the esteemed Hijinks Arcade, who pops into the chat here and there. Whoa! What the hell? What the hell, surgical tactical catboy? You could put anything in asterisks, I guess. I'm trying to form any. I never thought. For some reason, I want positioning of an arm, like this. Okay, like this. kind of breaking in to say, what is this chat? There's no way to take back the apostrophe, though. What is that? The asterisk. Parenthetical forcefully makes you look second canvas. No. I've seen the second canvas. If somebody else sees the second canvas, that's on them. What do hands look like? They look kind of large. Hands can be sort of... There's sort of a second canvas and a third canvas now, isn't there? Sort of gone into it this way. Are you generating more catboys? Somebody call the catboy police. We have a cat emergency. They're all experiencing Why do they have my purple gamer triangles? The horrors of all horrors. You can never tell when you're gonna be catboyified. And oh, I also take great delight in whatever the hell this dog creature is doing. I don't understand why and how they thought of this, but it's very delightful indeed. The hell else am I thinking about? Here's some gloves as I try to do... Okay, I can't give Jack's Amazing Digital Circus massive yaoi hands. This is what it is. They're saying, did you see my additions to your additions on the main canvas? Because I didn't get your pun. My pun is very obvious. If there's a daughter, then there's also a son. Sometimes. This is how it has been in my family. And there's been a daughter and also a son. And you know, I think that makes perfect sense. Sorry to have some binary duology type of thinking. Observe a crab. And God, is my mouth completely full of tissues in here? Absolutely bonkers. Okay, what else am I looking at? Looking at outfits. I always say that I'm going to finish a type of a sketch or something, or that it is in my intentions. I think if I'm having too much snot, I might only make it to 90 minutes, which does not seem right exactly. However, I don't quite know what else to do if I am struggling up in here. All right, here is arm position is messing with me. I want to say arm position is being very mean, very unfair to me right now. Right here, right now. Okay. Go like this, and also go like this, and then this is okay. What is a hand made of when it's cartoony? And then so she's saying, how is daughter related to son? I'm not American. I'm not proficient in English language. I'm just learning. I promise to deliver this to you telepathically in 5 to 7 business days. The understanding is perfectly downloading. Has to do with very binarism. In fact, what else can I put in here to make it a trinary pun? Okay, I mean, I guess it's gonna have to be extremely specific if I want to find a gender neutral sort of way to call somebody's offspring. other than daughter or son, the one that I go for is Spawn, which is also a Marvel character? Huh. Okay, like looking at this, the question what's in your pants when asked to characters such as Spawn, the answer might be incredible pointy evil skull. Don't know if I'll get to that point up in here, but let's complete the pun. You get one gender, you get another gender, you get a gender neutral. Well, I'm sure you could add even more to the set than that. But this is pretty good. There's okay, wait, you are getting it now? I wasn't sure if you weren't getting it for the gag. So all the stuff that I said just now, it wasn't to explain. It was just it's just a natural continuation. Alright, so here is more of eyeballs. You're gonna want to do the comic thing where you're wrinkling an incredible amount. I don't quite know much about the comic character of Spawn, but I guess I have to headcanon a homie as non-binary now, due to this participation in a meme. Alright, here's a little bit more of this. Spawn binary, one might say. Alright, here goes with a little bit more of a mask. This goes up in here. And it all makes sense, dare I say. Here wrinkles your face because you are so mean and so nasty. And here goes this. Very interesting, very neat. Hey, what the heck? You don't appreciate my literal dad jokes? Come on, who's your daddy? Come on, appreciate my dad jokes. Okay, what other shapes can I put in here? I can put a little bit of this. I can put a little bit of this and a little bit of this, and this is what a mask is made of. And it makes perfect sense. You're gonna want. They always have such weirdly uncomfortable skin-tight masks up in Marvel. You're saying, is that Spawn? Yes, we're attempting to complete a set. You know, there's a son, there's a daughter, and there's also, for any non-binary child out there, your Spawn. Simply your Spawn. Oh my god. It is a little bit funny to know the name, but not particularly know this fella from anywhere. Just only show up to make the fella non-binary. Yeah, that's the relationship I have to Marvel character Spawn, I guess. I've got no context. Got absolutely zero context for whatever Spawn does, except for all these sick silver skulls. Get some of the chains up in here. And there's also a skull going like this, and the skull is like frowning or something. This just absolute swooping collar? Question mark? I think it's a collar. Cool. I have now drawn Spawn. There's something saying, I have no idea who that is. And I had an action figure of him as a child. Perfect. It is Throwback Tuesday, one might say. Let's include... I cannot tell if this is related to Spider-Man, but I can tell that there's massive intimidating pecs. Okay. So cool. Everybody take a look at his massive intimidating pecs. Alright. So there's just kind of a spawning in here. And that is for some reason a more detailed drawing than anything I've been able to do. Wow. And then I died. I think I shall lean toward 20 minutes left in the stream. Wow! Woo! To sample my incredible range of coughs. Oh my stars! The mask is helping a little bit, but oh my god, it could help more. Wow! Alright, here's more of Fingies. It's my cool and trendy name for fingers. Always calling Fingies that. Here's a little bit of a thumb. That's what happens also. And your legs, you are mostly legs. Mostly legs are happening here. Therefore, we're gonna erase some of what's going on here. Whew. I'm gonna learn 3 weeks worth of philosophy this week because for some reason that's how the class that I'm still in is structured. I'm gonna learn 3 weeks worth of philosophy. Alright, here's this. Here's your other leggy. And then your legs are like this enormous. The lanky lilac rabbit. Making fun of people is a habit. That 60 Shadow, I'll donate my throat for you so you get a throat transplant and you get well and I perish just 48,000 US dollars. You're asking philosophy also. Is that a capitalism philosophy I've just been hit with, or perhaps a very, very charitable 48,000 US dollars philosophy? My goodness, a little bit of incredible legs. I don't know how Silly God does it. I do not know how Silly God does it. Okay, if I try to go to my philosophy textbook from this phone, but yeah, it is philosophy 101. And so theoretically, it's very fascinating. However, I wouldn't know that if I haven't read any of it, except for the introduction. Apparently, they keep having the same guy write successive entries, updating this textbook. That's funny to me. He keeps getting older, and they keep asking him to philosophize a little bit more. Alright, I did open it up on my phone. Apparently, for the first out of 3 weeks that I'm learning in 1 week, first I'm defining the term philosophy. Second, I'm outlining the 4 primary areas of philosophy. And then I'm identifying 5 philosophical archetypes. And then I'm differentiating between archetypes and stereotypes. I feel like... Okay. Speaking from a place of ignorance, because I've watched a couple of ContraPoints videos and a couple of Philosophy Tube videos and I love them dearly, maybe I'm basically all set for the class. Maybe I'm basically I'm going into this not as a novice, not as somebody completely unfamiliar, but maybe I'm gonna crush it as someone who has only read all of this. You're asking me if the universe is contingent. Let's go with yeah. You know, the universe, it's contingent, but even more so than that, I'm confident. Woohoo! Believe in yourself always. Leviathan bringing us a YouTube short. Cat bursting out gay people and cat boys. And this is, you're saying this is a virus leak? A gunshot was fired in a stadium. Oh, and what do they do? Is this freaking dumb? Ah. Wait, this is from the YouTube channel. Why do I want to say like no, I know it though. I know it though. It's like a dub. It's like a history dub. History dub. If I just look up that, then does it show me anything? Why does it show me it? I've subscribed to the person who voiced this. This is gonna drive me nuts. I know who this is. Another thing that I'm getting really into lately as I try to find things in my YouTube recommendations and can't find any of it. Just give a like, I guess. And can't find anything in my YouTube recommendations. I'm getting really into the show Murderbot because because of aforementioned affinity for robots, and then unfortunately for me, horribly, somewhat involuntarily, my Detroit Become Human obsession phase is starting back up again. It feels like saying that a disease has come back, but a love of robot stories is so much part of me, and it feels like a rash is flaring up in the case of Detroit Become Human specifically. Alright, so here is this. You have cuffs on your hands, and then there's talking about YouTube shorts for gay people and cat boys. My gosh. Alright, and then I don't know why I drew a rib cage, because your overall straps are way down your boobies. Something such as that. One and a two. One, two others. There's... Wait, you got this short recommended for some reason, and when I saw it, I instinctively said, Jono, what goes on here? What could possibly go on here? Hey, what the hell? I don't know what I expected, but clown girls. Okay, sometimes I do in fact get clown girls suggested to me, and I've not seen this channel. But one of them is doing is doing drag. Is being a drag performer that is also a clown. It's absolutely fascinating. Anyway, what do you mean no? Look at me. I'm so respectful. What? I'm practically incredible. This goes hand in hand with being completely respectful. Alright, here's a little bit more of this, in which we are drawing your crazy huge feet. Look at them mitts going on here. And that's not going to be proportionate to the rest of yourself as I try to draw a singular, amazing digital circus. Sort of a... Oh god, why? Try to draw a singular, amazing digital circus character. And I don't know, maybe what I want here is actually like a fist going like that. None of this is going to fix me. None of this is going to fix me. I might just be entering an imbalanced time of the month, but I swear to everything, I'm going to find something that's going to fix me. Getting partway through drawing 100 self-portraits. I'm almost at 50. I've taken great big pauses, and now I've cut my hair since I drew this long-faced horse-faced one. There's, like, maybe if I did something like this, but like in the span of a day instead, then I could finally find my art style. What do you mean honks the bazookas respectfully? I mean, I shouldn't have to ask. What do you mean? Because I guess it's pretty self-evident there was honking and it was also respectful. Honking happening respectfully. I think I'm gonna commit to an art style that I want to use for, what is it, storytime animations, and the only way to do that is by completing a couple of projects, like trying to put those stories together, as it were. Alright, here's a little bit of this, a little bit of your cartoony Knuckles, because I thought maybe after I drew 100 self-portraits on sticky notes, then I would finally figure out what art style was the best. And after trying almost 50 of them, woohoo, maybe one isn't the best. Maybe there isn't a best one. Maybe I'm gonna have like 3 art styles and they're gonna be circumstantial. Now this is big talk from somebody who very much isn't finishing a sketch right now. Whoa! Hello to you, Hijinks Arcade. I've actually been I've been kind of having throat event, so I wasn't quite sure how so I was leaning toward making the stream a little bit shorter, but hello, it is good to see you, and we are in fact seeing we're seeing many things. We're seeing Clown Girl. There's somebody saying you should draw doodles, blobs, get more confidence after that, or you forget how to draw, but mostly you get fun. I do kind of want to be fun. Okay. Every time I get really existential and say to myself, I haven't found a project that's going to fill me up with purpose and absolutely going to fix me this time, and I don't know what it's going to be, and I'm listless without it, whatever unknown right set of steps that makes me who I want to be, finally. And every time I say that, I do necessarily get away from the fun side of things. And so, but then when I lean into the fun side of things for, I don't know, things that I get lost in, like old fandom obsessions reigniting or anything, a lot of the time I don't turn that into, I don't know, I disassociate that from whatever it is I'm trying to do to fix me. I don't know, there hasn't been a balance of fun or whatnot. That's Hijinks Arcade saying, I see you are wearing a mask as well. Hope the sickness isn't too bad, and that you and your family get well soon. Oh yeah. As much as I'm absolutely full of snot right now, my family is coughing and hacking quite a bit worse, I do declare. Alright, here's this bunny. I want to sketch a little Lars, since Lars of the Stars is coming to the animation. Lars Barriga. He is Filipino. He is Filipino like me. And and has the most spacey outfits in his newer ways. Alright, let's talk about Lars and Jack's fusion. I sincerely wonder where the personality would fall. It'd be a little bit funny if they synchronized accidentally. Alright, we got like a square sort of a head. Kinda what's going on there. You know, maybe just for the joy of it, maybe I shall simply do a little screenshot redraw out of the joy. Go like round head happening. Oh my god. You're talking about how they have the same assholey personality, but Lars changed, right? It's like they're just similar enough that if they were to interact, then the differences in their personality would become, I don't know, very clear. Like, Jax is in this dead end situation. He's, like, his, I don't know, soul is trapped in a world of digital torment, completely inexplicable, no way out, no way to die, no end in sight. And that is sort of like the initial vision of Lars, which works retail in a small town. And so their early versions are like oddly parallel, maybe? I don't know. I guess if you want to parallel their stories, then it does kind of imply that there's a version of Jax that can find fulfillment, maybe freedom. There's Hijinks Arcade, looking forward to Lars of the Stars. Suppose it's one of the only things they didn't fully explore. Interested if there'll be other aliens besides gems. Right? Like, there is totally potential for that. They did show things living and growing little creatures. I'm kind of hoping for more about the off-colors and more gem lore in particular. Alright, here is a mouth, and your hand shall go like this. My nose has become more stuffed than when I started. Oh dear. Here's a little bit of thing that's going on. Oh no. Alright, so that's interesting. I had projected earlier that I would perhaps end this at the 90-minute mark because I have run out of tissue. And I do in fact think that I shall. It's no state to be speaking exactly. Speaking interacts with the, I don't know, structure of sickness that I got going on here in a very particular way. Alright, so here's this. And it is funny how in a simple art style, very small things can totally change the facial expression. Wow. And there's something talking about the things they didn't fully explore in the Steven universe. Do I detect a fellow lore head? Can we get into the lore? Can we take a look at how Homeworld has shaped everything? How both sides of the fusion rhodonite and the off-colors met? There's so much, yeah. Recommending that I drink honey. I did actually drink a warm cup of ginger and honey tea with my breakfast. I love fluffy hair. It is funny to me how uncomfortable it must be to have a portal up in there. Alright, so here is a little bit more of your ears. Got some gauge ears. I should totally look at people for character design inspiration. Character design is on my mind, hand in hand with developing an art style for a storytime animation that I have in my head. I just want to get out the ideas. I just want to get out the ideas that I have. Alright, you got a little bit of cloak happening, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and your arm. This. Hijinks Arcade saying, I've been watching We Last reacting to Steven Universe, and she literally uploaded her Lars of the Stars reaction right now before this new announcement. That's timely. Incredibly timely. And you're saying, as for cool new things, still haven't played the new Deltarune yet because I haven't been ready for it. I think I'm ready to jump back in soon. Everything I've seen and heard, it sounds really good. Right? I want to catch up somehow, and I don't know, try to get it set up by Thursday or the weekend or something. And your next thing was, I got any plans for when you were playing it? Yeah, I guess I'll write down a little community post or something if I don't get it set up by Thursday. Because I don't know, the next time that I could see myself going for it would be like Sunday, something like that. I have completely mangled the body of Lars Barriga. Things that can also be said by Homeworld gems. Alright. There's like saying there are hundreds of things to explore, the most important being the origins of the diamonds, the past of Homeworld, the big, etc. Absolutely. I can eat up all of the sci-fi elements, perhaps for infinity, and yet Rebecca Sugar is working on this, and I know they have more of a focus on emotional and psychological things. So any predictions that stay along the emotional, psychological, relational sort of guesses are going to be more accurate, because as much as I crave more lore, it's going to be following a through line of human emotion, you know? Whatever happens, disgusting things are happening inside my mask. Disgusting things are happening inside my mask. I gotta wind down. I gotta get out of here. I think like he's saying, literally was not ready for Deltarune. It's like, feeling it lately, kind of down. Playing new Deltarune feels like I gotta be prepared for an important date. Gotta put on your fancy clothes if you got some. Gotta spiff yourself up. There. 50 saying, unfortunately the Diamonds VAs are big stars and very expensive to hire. I'm still in awe that they got Broadway legend Patti LuPone doing this and that. There's Hijinks Arcade saying, looking forward to seeing you play as well. How would you feel about doing this on stream? Let's look at what's going on. It's a Dimension 20 Master Smash. Oh my gosh. And it's last modified, have they last modified it for the last campaign? I haven't seen any of Cloudward Ho yet, except for little clips. Oh, this on a stream, you say? It's very comprehensive indeed, but since I am familiar with all of this business, yeah, probably sometime. What a fun time. Alright, you made this magnificent. Oh, everyone's absolutely showed up for this. Some I still don't recognize. Funny enough, I don't recognize this cat thing, this sea cat thing. Gosh. Alright. So, I'm out of tissue, and I simply must go away from the stream, and I must save my life. I must get out of here. This Smasher Pass crafting is appreciated, and there's Hydric Arcade saying, wait, you mentioned not having seen Cloudward Ho, is it out already? Episode 3 airs tomorrow. I wasn't sure whether to, like, catch up and stuff. Okay, so that's Pirates of the Leviathan. There's Nico Juju saying, hello for the second time, I wonder what I missed. Oh, you missed that I'm ending this at like right about now because I'm out of tissue and truly dying. I gotta get out of here. Okay. That's what the sea cat is from. Very cool, very awesome. And yeah, Cloudward Ho is out. Wasn't sure whether I'm gonna like catch up before tomorrow or something. Got no idea. As Nico Juju says, so sad. Well, there's stuff to look forward to in as regular streaming returns. I'm either doing Deltarune on Thursday or Sunday. I don't know, figuring that out. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for saying hi. I'm gonna go be really sick. Oh my god. Very bad things are happening to my nose. So thanks for saying hi. It's good to see you, and have a very well rest of your day.